Hello, everyone. Welcome to A Garden a Day with Maidenbrock Gardens, where we explore the world one garden at a time. Today is October 3rd. Today marks something a little new for A Garden a Day: bonus episodes. Yes, that's right. Along with this more traditional episode, there is another episode released today. Every Friday in October, I will be releasing a bonus episode. Plants, trees, flowers, and gardens are such normal parts of life, but sometimes there can be something paranormal involved, at least in ghost stories. So each Friday, I will bring to you a ghastly tale, not too ghastly, I promise, involving something as seemingly ordinary as a tree, as in today's tale, The Ash Tree by M.R. James. And for this garden episode, I've chosen a garden that has a connection to M.R. James, the Abbey Gardens at Bury St. Edmunds in England. So after you listen to this episode, continue to the bonus episode to enjoy today's spooky ghost story. But first, the garden. The Abbey Gardens are set in 14 acres on the site of a former Benedictine abbey, a few ruins of which are still visible today. The gardens were created in 1831 by Nathaniel Hodgson and inspired by the Royal Botanical Gardens in Brussels. The gardens opened to the public in 1912. There are several highlights to the garden. First, the Pilgrim's Herb Garden. This garden features traditional medicinal plants that were used to cure ailments as well as ward off evil spirits. The garden's occupants were inspired by a 13th century manuscript found in the abbey that is now housed in the Bodleian Library at Oxford. This garden and its inspiration seem right for M.R. James, a medievalist scholar and writer of ghost stories. James had a nearly lifelong passion for the history of the abbey. He attended Eton in 1876, where he began his interest in early Christianity and medieval manuscripts. He often visited the ancient parish library in Bury as a student and became a leading expert in Christian archaeology. During his research, he discovered the long-lost locations of the burial places of several of the abbey's abbots. An excavation completed in 1903 found the graves of 6 abbots. James also argued that relics of St. Edmund held in Toulouse were forgeries. It took a century to pass, but he was found to be correct. In 1932, 4 years before his death, James gave a lecture on the Abbey Church at Bury, where he summarized his research and gave an imaginary tour of the abbey as it would have been in medieval times. St. Edmund, I should mention, is possibly buried under the Abbey Garden. Another area of interest is the Appleby Rose Garden, named for an American serviceman, John Appleby, who served with the 487th Bomb Group at Lavenham during World War II. Appleby spent time in the area and wrote a book, Suffolk Summer, detailing his time there. There are more than 400 rose bushes in the Appleby Rose Garden, along with a bench made from the wing of a Flying Fortress bomber. There's also a memorial to the U.S. servicemen who were stationed in Suffolk during the war. In 2015, another memorial garden opened, the Garden of Reflection. It commemorates the Jewish victims of a massacre in the town on Palm Sunday in the year 1190, as well as other victims of genocide. The Abbey Garden also includes a sensory garden installed in 1990 and a children's play area. The backdrop for the gardens are the ruins of the abbey. In 1936, the original design of the garden was replaced with 64 island beds and was part of the coronation celebrations for King George VI. There are about 20,000 bulbs planted each autumn for a brilliant display in spring, and another 20,000 plants added in spring for brilliant color in summer. The gardens are open Monday through Saturday from 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Well, that's about it for today's garden visit. Join me here tomorrow to find out where we're going next. I've added Ghost Stories of an Antiquary by M.R. James to the book list for A Garden a Day on our bookshop. If you're interested in picking up a copy, and also helping out the show a bit, I invite you to visit our bookshop. I've included a link in the notes. As a reminder, you can subscribe, like, or follow this podcast at any of the major podcast listening places. You can subscribe to our mailing list by visiting our website, agardenaday.com, and clicking on the subscribe button. Thank you for listening today and every day. If all goes well, I'll be right back here tomorrow. See you then.